Since yoga's introduction to America around the beginning of the 20th century, many styles and schools of teaching yoga have been created here in America. One of the most respected styles that have emerged, Forrest Yoga, was designed by Forrest to address the challenges that modern society faces as a result of our lifestyle and routines. Hi, I'm Chip Fieberg. I teach Forrest Yoga with my wife Laura, and we are very excited to be bringing Forrest to Phoenix this December for a series of workshops. Today, I am honored to be speaking with the creatrix of Forrest Yoga and author of Fierce Medicine, Forrest. Anna, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
You're welcome, Chip. This is such a pleasure to get to see you.
The questions that I've put together here today address teaching yoga and also your experiences with training teachers of yoga. And besides being an expert in this field, I also regard you as an expert in self-improvement and just developing one's character. So I've also got some questions about these things as well. So I'm super excited about this. All right, so you've worked all over the world. I'm curious, what are some of the trends that you've noticed as far as how your students and trainees hold tension in their bodies?
I have about 6 layers to speak to that. So let me go to Asia, since I just came out of doing the teacher training course in Hong Kong. The Asian people are very driven. They're perfectionists. They're in some ways incredible students because they are totally willing to work hard and really focus. Now, taking that to its nth degree, we have a lot of stress problems there. Just a lot of very exhausted brains, and the adrenal glands are blown out, different endocrine imbalances. And because the people are so intense, the women go into horrible eating disorders. And too much of the medical system over there supports it. Like, they'll give them the drugs to be on to lose weight, and they'll even give them diets to lose more weight and lose more weight. And these people are not fat, but they are scary, sick, anorexic. Mostly with the women on the anorexic thing, but also a cluelessness about correct eating with the men and the women. Hong Kong is an up-and-coming, very wealthy Asian area. There's things and foods available from all over the world. It's like a hub of the world. And so there's crazy amounts of different kinds of food. And so these people eat a lot of garbage food, like fried foods and oil and lots of sugar. And they don't understand how that's affecting them, which is so odd because the Chinese medicine is so ancient, and there's, really specific rules about that. So that's part of what I'm dealing with there, is like super brilliant and out there mentally, and completely forgot the body wisdom and how to read it and pick up signals there. In Asia, in America, in Europe, in Africa even, Africa less, but the Asia, America, Europe, one of the main issues that we have inside is having to do with what happens to us with how we are with sitting at a computer for so long. So there's a huge amount of neck, upper back, shoulder, and wrist problems, and a different kind of mental ADD issues going on that I didn't see 30 years ago. It started getting really strong about 15 years ago, where the injuries and the problems and the pain in the body were very specific to computer use. Not just someone who sits down for 20 minutes, but really sits and works on a computer, like someone who's a writer or designer, or you know what it's like. You've been on a computer for hours at a time. I know you.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and for me, I am not a computer person, but because I do interviews and Skypes and stuff, I also get to feel some of that getting drawn into the box and putting my body in a position that's quite hurtful for my brain and for my neck and my upper back and then my lower back and then my breathing and then my guts all get compromised by the way that we work with this smart, stupid box called the computer. So that's a whole different set of problems than what we had 40 years ago when I first started teaching. And also I've learned to make those associations, like, what is this coming from? I'm a much more effective at finding those things. But we didn't have our cultures, everybody on a computer. We didn't have PCs that available to us back then. Way back then. So it is, though it may be a wonderful asset to our culture, it has its setbacks that we can easily do something about.